Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. It's coffee talk. Thought I'd go low. Coffee talk. How are ya? We are on day three of our generous challenge. And I have to say, I have loved hearing from you. Thank you so much for those of you who are reaching out on social media or emailing me. I love it. I love it. I love knowing that it's landing on you. So please let me know. Keep them coming. I saw yesterday that someone even has an altar with cards and flowers and like really setting up a generous space. And she had mentioned that it is easier to give than it is to receive for her. So I love that you're doing this so much. So thank you for that. And that kind of puts us into what we're going to do today for day three. So before I get there, I just want to tell you a little bit of why we're talking about this and some of my thoughts about it. And then I'm going to give you your challenge. Okay. So one of the things that we do as people, hi, Mary, is we, bond with other people, and statistics show this, and I don't know the numbers off the top of my head, but it's quite a lot, that the majority of the conversations we have with others is negative, right? We bond with negativity. And in the inner circle group, one of the months, I forget what month we talk about it, but we have a whole month on relationships, and we talk about friendships and all the things that we notice with friendships and what science tells us with relationship durations and all that. One of the things that we know is that it is in our closest relationships, friendships, we could say real friendships, are friendships where you can actually celebrate the things that are going well in your life. It's like, my marriage is amazing right now, or my kids are really doing, they're really successful. I'm feeling really proud about that. Or I'm feeling great about my body and my health. You can talk about certain, I don't want to say bragging, but those positive comments with real friends, right? The real friends, but you can't really like socialize, at work or in the elevator going, yeah, my marriage is really great, right? Because then people get jealous or you feel like you're bragging or whatever. So in that, we bond with our negative, like, I know, isn't that movie terrible? Oh my God, that restaurant was horrible. The parking was awful. They don't shovel their sidewalk. I mean, we bond with negativity. I just want you to think about that. The majority of our conversations are complaining, moaning, and groaning. Okay, so let's put that away for just a second. I'm going to come back to that. So first we have here, we're going to talk about the challenge, and then here we're going to talk about the negativity, but we're coming back now to this moment here. So all the work that I've been doing in the inner circle, on the yoga classes, in these ponderings for you is to remind you that you are more than your thoughts, right? The way I like to think about it is that my true mind is the blue sky, but all of my thoughts are the airplane and the pollution and the birds and the smokestacks and the kite. Those are my thoughts, right? But the mind, the true me, is on the blue sky. That's the big mind of myself. So I can, if I sit and reside in that seat of the soul, is what they would say. If I sit back there, I can watch the chatter of my mind like a movie screen. I don't have to get caught up with anything. I don't have to, get emotionally involved with the narratives that my brain is telling me and yada, yada. I can keep leaning back into the big mind, the blue sky. Okay. A lot of things talking about today, I know. So if we know that, if we remember that I am the big mind, not the little chattery mind, and I know that I'm actually able to reside there in that idea of leaning back, then all the things that are going on in my life that are problematic or that I want to complain about or that I want to connect with you because I know that's terrible for me too, all of that is not necessarily a problem. The problem is that I think it's a problem. Okay. So if I say, my teenagers were so cranky this morning and they didn't take out the garbage when I asked them, I'm so mad about that. Da, 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 da. It's not a problem that they didn't do that. it's a problem that I think it's a problem, because I have no problems back here in my big mind, in my blue sky. That's just the neutral land, right? Everything else is my filter, is my perception of it. Okay. So the problems that we have in life is that we think life shouldn't have any problems. Right? I can't believe my life was going so well and then this happened. No, life is about challenges. That's what it's all about. People live, people die, people pay taxes, people have, the hurts, like all of that is just happening to you, just like a video game. I always think of like, oh, you unlocked a new level, like you have a new problem to solve. They're not problems unless we think of them as problems. Okay, now I'm going to go back to the challenge. So my challenge this week is generosity, right? We're doing a 21-day challenge and we're being generous, right? We're giving and we're receiving, right? That was my first ponder. Then I took you over here to this idea that we bond through our negativity. Our real relationships, our real friendships are those that we can, celebrate with and say, I'm doing really well here, and be excited for me and cheering me on. Those are our real friendships. But the majority of our conversations are bonding with negative things. I know, it's complaining about this, complaining about that. I know it's terrible. Oh my God, social media. Can you believe this? Politics. Can you believe this? All this, all going on and on and on. But they're not problems because they're just things happening. You are the one making it a problem. Now, one more thing I want to throw in here. So there's our fourth thing. This is a big one today. Our fourth thing before I get back. If you think about the idea that you are coming into this world, right? Being who you are with your genetic coding and your life experience and the people that you're being inspired or encouraged or sort of held back by, if you are being in your life and you are sharing something negative, right? That negative comment, say that restaurant, you got food poisoning from that restaurant. Those people will go tell, don't eat there. A friend of mine had food poisoning, and then they'll tell. That negative feedback goes far, far. One little comment from one person could totally destroy a business. There's power in negativity, right? People politically can rise to the tops. I don't want to say who, but you know what I'm talking about. Really evil people in history that have sort of worked their way to the top because they were very charismatic or because they were, kind of got the people talking or whatever. It can change so much with this negativity because it builds and it builds and it builds and it builds and it builds. And then it's off to the races and we're all like, what happened? Right? I didn't even know this was happening. It happened so slowly. Positive conversations, affirmations, compliments, that doesn't travel as far. People aren't like, I know, I heard great things about that restaurant. Maybe they would tell one or two more people. They're not going to just spread it as quickly as the negative. The negative feedback is like fireworks and wildfires. Positive, trickle here, trickle there, trickle there. So the negative comments that you're making, the negativity problems that you're grinding on with your friends, that is growing quickly. Right. And we can look on social media. And if you look at like 100 comments, 90 of them are going to be negative or insulting. Right. So we don't have as much, I don't want to say positive thinking because I really, really, really make it clear that I don't teach positive thinking. Life is suffering. Buddha tells us, like, there is so many problems to overcome. There are so many levels to unlock in our life, right? You get one thing and you fix it and then another thing comes in. So there's so much to do here that what we want to be bringing in is this idea that if it's not a problem, if these things are just happening and they're not a problem, and I'm the blue sky mind, and I can connect with people in a way that is not positive thinking because life is suffering, there are struggles in our life, but in a way where I'm opening my mind to how I see things. And then I'm complimenting someone or giving someone an affirmation or connecting with someone in a way that is more joy-filled. the day changes, the mood changes, the vibe changes. And we all need to be doing that in order for the current of all this negativity, so much negativity, so much poison in our world right now, right? So much that in order for it to not be that way, we have to sort of get the current going in the other way, which brings us now finally back to my challenge. And that is, can you today notice how much negative stuff you're a part of? And can you be generous with your compliments, with your recommendations, with your affirmations? Okay, that's the generous challenge. So instead of sort of going into the pattern of keeping it going or adding to the pile, I would challenge you on day 3 to just notice the currents around you. Your kids talking about the things that went wrong at school, your spouse maybe complaining about the boss. Like, just watch all that's coming in. Remember that you are not this chatter. You are your big blue sky mind. These aren't problems. They're just levels to unlock in your life. Life is about challenges. And can you, with your generous spirit, compliment someone, bring something, but there's also this reality, or there's also this reality, and see if you just challenge yourself today to see if you could be generous with the way you're presenting. In the inner circle, I talk about, are you poison, are you medicine, or are you neutral in your life? Are you bringing more negativity in your life, or are you bringing some medicinal qualities, or are you just pretty much staying neutral? Right? I'd like you to challenge yourself on that. As I said, so much negativity, it's like a big snowball. It just gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and could totally destroy a business, right? So it takes a lot more compliments, a lot more affirmations, a lot more positiveness in order to get that current going the other way. And that's your challenge today. So if there is a teacher that you really love that's really going above and beyond for your student, send her a note. Send her a note. There's a restaurant or a business, my business, anybody's business that you're really inspired by, tell someone, encourage them to try it. If you like this challenge, this generous challenge, tell your friends, right? Spread the love, spread the light, spread it, open yourself to it. We don't want to just keep going. And here in this circumstance, this neutral, where you're just not a part of it, is almost like the numbing of just letting the current keep going in that way. Now, before I finish, I'm not saying Pollyanna. I'm not saying positive thinking. I'm not saying look for the rainbows and the unicorns in every story, right? Like I said, sometimes life is a kick. Sometimes it's really, really challenging, but it's not the only truth. Right? There's many ways to see things depending upon what your filter is. Remember, these aren't the windows to the soul. These are cameras. And depending upon your life experience, you're taking in what you're seeing and you're taking your own perspective. But sometimes your perspective might have a lens on it that's sort of looking for the weeds in the garden, looking for the problems, looking for the unsafe environment, looking for the toxicity in the environment. And so we got to challenge ourselves. It's like, no, my true self, my soul, my big self is just neutral and calm and relaxed and sees that there's love everywhere. And I can just lean back into that and see if I can challenge myself to be more generous with my affirmations and compliments and recommendations, and watch all the negativity that comes in, and then do your part today to maybe change the tide around you. I'm really interested to hear how this works for you. I live with teenagers, so it's very hard to do, but I feel like it does work. It does work if you just sit in the seat of your soul. You sit in the trueness of who you are. I'm not Kim. I'm not a mother. I'm not Caucasian. I'm not a teacher. Like, I'm something way bigger than that. I'm a spirit having a human experience, as are you, as are you. So what do you think about that? Okay, so to conclude, today's challenge, day 3, is to notice all the negative conversations that you see in and around your world, all the negative sort of complaining and whining that you're seeing around your world. Like just watch all of that. And what can you do today that would buoy some of that energy? Again, one comment about a positive comment about a restaurant or a business buoys that business, that family business. Recommending my services, recommending someone else's services, telling someone about a book you really loved or a place you went on vacation. Like, see if you can start to add some beauty to the pile rather than getting swept away with the negativity, even though it's so much stronger, so much more rapid than the sort of sweet ways of looking at life. Okay, what you think? Again, I love hearing from you, and I really, really love that you're loving this challenge. I love giving it to you, and I like seeing everybody here. I love it. Hi, Taylor. I miss you so much. Sue. Hi. Andrea. Good to see you, Andy. All right. So I will see you guys soon for day 4 tomorrow. Keep posting me and letting me know what you're doing with this generous challenge. Open your heart. Open your heart. This world that we think is all the problems, they're not problems. They just think of them as problems. I love you too. I miss you so much. All right. Big love to you all. All right. Bye. Bye.